Hey guys, so I have to apologize to you. I was doing mini reviews where I was going back 6 months and talking about all those products and kind of giving you like my final thoughts and final review on the products that were from 6 months ago. And I fell off the wagon and I haven't done it in a while, and it's already February and I haven't done last June's. I should have done this back in December. So we're going to be talking about products from last June. I know that's a really long time ago, but I really want to catch up. All right, let's get into this. So on June 4th, I did a totally random haul. The first thing I talked about is this Chanel La Creme Main Hand Cream. And I think in the video I talked about how I didn't like it because it's pretty fragranced. The fragrance has definitely died down, but in terms of an actual hand cream, it's okay. It's actually really light. You know, once you start rubbing it in, it almost feels a little bit watery. So it's okay, but I don't think I would repurchase this. I do love this dispenser because there's just this like little rubber tip here. It just keeps everything really sealed in. And yeah, and you know, it's okay. It's an okay hand cream. Definitely not my favorite and probably not going to repurchase it. Next, I purchased this Kryolan Illusion in cashmere. This is a cream highlighter, and you can see I've used it quite a bit. It is really lovely. It has a really lovely texture. It has a really beautiful sheen and color to it. I really like the tone of it. It's not too icy, but it's not too warm. It's very neutral, and I really like it. And I think it blends in really beautifully. When you stick your finger in, it feels really creamy, and I was worried that it was going to be just kind of too tacky on the skin, but it actually dries down really nicely. And while it doesn't dry down like completely, it's not like tacky at all. So I really like this product, and I would love to actually get a few more colors in this. This is really nice. So that's the Kryolan Illusion, and this color is cashmere. And then I purchased two of the Armani Beauty Ecstasy Lacquers in 100 and 101. These are lip glosses. They're both, you probably can't even see it, but they're both really kind of like milky in color, but I cannot wear these on my lips because they just smell of a really strong chemically smell, but the colors are really beautiful. This is 101, this one. The colors are really beautiful. I love the sheen to them. They look beautiful on the lips, but I like physically cannot wear them because of the smell. I don't know why they wouldn't try and put a fragrance over it or try and kind of like dial that down a little bit, but it's such a waste because I think these are really beautiful on the lips. I just can't wear them. And then I also got these Armani Eye Tents. So this was part of like I think it was called like a Tokyo Gardens like little spring collection. And then I think all of these products are now like part of the regular line. So I really love the Armani Eye Tints. So this is in color number 31, and then this is 34. I don't use the 31 too much because it is incredibly just white. Here it is. So it's great if you want like a really beaming kind of like inner corner maybe, or you know, you can kind of sheer this out a little bit, but like not really. See how it just kind of stays really glossy. And then there's micro glitters in there. You can probably see that also. So this is like a very kind of like specific eye color for me. This isn't something I would just kind of like throw on because you get such a strong look out of it. So I like this, but I just don't use it that often. And then this is number 34, which is a softer, more natural color, but it has just as much impact as 31. And you can see there, it has those micro glitters also. So this is really pretty. I like to use this one like as a topper. It has a really pretty kind of peach hue to it. There you can see the peach there. So it's really pretty, and to me it's a little bit softer than this. This is such a stark color, but because of the micro glitters in there, this is definitely not an everyday kind of eye tint. A lot of the other Armani eye tints I find to be very kind of like everyday. They have like a whole bunch of matte ones, like you can just throw them on and they're easy to wear. These are definitely a little bit more special occasion. So I also hauled the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Royal Glow. This is the one that came out for Harry and Meghan's wedding. It's a little bit deep for my skin tone, and for that reason I just don't reach for it. I don't think for it that often. I pretty much grabbed it because it was limited edition. It had like little clown embossing and Clown. Did I just say clown? Crown embossing. Oh my God. And so I thought, you know, it was limited edition. It was probably going to be sold out pretty quickly, but it's actually still available. So everything I talk about will be linked down below. And of course, you can always go to my original videos and take a look at those description box too. But I will try and have everything down below in the description box. And this is still available on Beautylish. So lovely. This is, you know, just like any other Becca's Shimmering Skin Perfector. If you like the formula, you'll like this one. It's just a little bit too deep for me. And then I also purchased this Kryolan Multi-Perfecting Concealer. I got it in the color number 01, which is light warm. It's this concealer that comes in a tube. And I remember I was with Risa of Risa Does Makeup when we were shopping, and she was really interested in this product. She said, this gets such good reviews on Sephora. And I said, oh, really? So I thought I would give it a shot as well. And it is a very high coverage concealer. So not something that I reach for every day. And it's a decent concealer, but I do feel like by midday, by the end of the day, it does kind of start to look like my under eyes look a little bit dry, but it's not awful. It just kind of starts a little bit. And you know, most concealers do. I have a few that don't, which I've talked about ad nauseum. But this is definitely one that, you know, looks good for the majority of the day, and it doesn't look awful by the end of the day, but just a little bit. Just a little bit. So that's the Kryolan Multi-Perfecting Concealer. And I think during that same trip to Kryolan, I picked up this Urbe Fresca, which is part of their Aqua Allegoria line. And so it's a really light, refreshing perfume, and I love it. It smells really clean. It's citrusy. It's light. There's a little bit of sweetness in there. And because it's so light, I kind of just like spraying this all over like my clothes after I've gotten dressed. I'll just spray this all over. Sometimes I'll even spray it as like room freshener because I just think it smells so clean. Like right in the beginning, it smells really kind of citrusy, and then it gets really kind of sweet, and then it moves into something that's very kind of clean. I really love this. And this is a gigantic bottle. I feel like I've used this quite a bit, and I've made it just down to like this part of the bottle. But anyway, that's Urbe Fresca, and I am loving it. And for something so light, I thought it wouldn't last for more than a couple hours or whatever, but it lasts a long time. I wouldn't say all day. If I spray it in the morning, I can probably spray it again like late afternoon, and then it'll last me for the rest of the day. So I'm a big fan of that one. I'm actually a big fan of that line. They even have like a grapefruit one that I'm very tempted to get, but I just need to get through the perfumes that I already have. Okay, next I talked about the Sirat Beauty lid lacquers. I won't linger too long here, but these appeared in my favorites, and I just love these. They're like a cream shadow slash eye gloss kind of product. They're just beautiful. And my favorite one I'm trying to find, there's 8 in total, 8 shades in total. And the one that I love is Shu Iro. And it's this red one. And of course, the question that I got the most was whether or not these crease. And my suggestion is don't use a lot of it. Use a nice kind of thin layer of it. It just gives like a really cool effect. It's a very editorial look. You know, the eye will still look a little bit glossy, but it'll look kind of sheer. And when I put it on sheerly, it doesn't crease. When I put on a lot, like if I try and put on kind of like an opaque layer of it, yeah, it gets like a little bit goopy, and I can see it move a little bit. But if I keep it to a sheer layer, it looks gorgeous on the eyes. Oh, and then Sirat Beauty also came out with 2 new colors to the Autographic eyeliners, and those are his liquid eyeliners. So I love his liquid eyeliners. These are my favorite liquid eyeliners. I think I've mentioned that before. And I have the black, I have the brown, and so here are the blue and the purple. They're great. I think I've also mentioned these are my favorite, so I won't go on for too long, but they just have such a beautiful tip. Flexible, but not too flexible, really, really pointy, but flexible enough if you want something a little bit thicker, you can just kind of press down a little bit harder on the line. So you just get a really nice, like calligraphy style kind of line. It's gorgeous. So Pkwy, I think is how you pronounce it, and Indigo Japonais is the other one. All right, next on June 7th, I did a whole video on Rodin, and Rodin is a brand that's like known for their oils. So I purchased some of the Mermaid Glow limited edition collection, and then I also purchased like one of their travel kits. So I just looked up the Mermaid Glow collection because I thought I had seen it still available, even though this was limited edition back in June, and some of it is still available on like different sites. So my absolute hands down favorite product from this collection was their pressed powder highlighter. This highlighter is so beautiful. It has little swirls of different colors in there. I'm not sure if you can see it. And it's called the Luxury Illuminating Powder in the color Siren. It is so stunning. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's still available at Barney's. So again, I will link to it down below in my description box if you are interested in taking a look. This was a much, much loved highlighter last June and July. I remember I wore this a lot and I think this ended up in my favorites. So love this. There was also a liquid highlighter that was part of the collection that I really enjoyed. I haven't used it that much since that summer, but it is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that sheen. And I think the shade is perfect for my skin tone. It's really beautiful. It feels great on the skin. I really enjoy it. I think I saw this available also. So again, I will link it down below. This I did not see available, and this actually ended up in one of my disappointing products. But this is the Mermaid Glow luxury lip oils. So you can see the oil at the top, and then you can see the pigment at the bottom. And the pigment actually reminded me a lot of the luxury liquid highlighter. But my problem with this was I couldn't get these two things to mix. Like no matter how hard I shook, you can see the pigment kind of slowly start to creep down the side. But, you know, it would take me forever. I would sit there and try and shake up this product, and I couldn't get the two things to mix. And I even thought, well, let me just kind of swirl it around with the doe foot, but that didn't work either. When I can get it to mix, when I like kind of hold it upside down for a little while and shake it up, it is really, really beautiful on the lips. And I do like the Rodin oils for the lips, but it was just too much of a pain. Like it took too long for the two things to combine. So this was kind of a disappointing product for me, only because it just didn't work. And then I also got the luxury body oil. This I think I got later. I don't think I got it during this video, but I thought I'd mention it now. It comes with like 3 different oils, and it has sea kelp and sambic in there, and it really smells so... Doesn't smell coconutty, but it smells beachy. I can't even explain it, but I absolutely love this. And I was using this a lot in the summer. You don't need a lot to kind of cover both of your legs and your arms or whatever. And I think I just need to get through this, but I'll just shake it very gently to kind of combine the oils, kind of back and forth a little bit, and then just pour it out on my hands and just rub it all over. And it's great. Great. I love this product. And then the last thing from this Mermaid Glow collection was this little Kabuki brush. So I use this when I use the Mermaid Glow powder. It's big for highlight, but it buffs in really nicely. These are synthetic hairs. It's a cute brush. It's a cute brush, but I don't think it's anything you need to run out and get. I don't even know if it's still available, but it's nice. And I like that it's white and it looks really nice with like the rest of the products. And then I talked about the travel kit that I purchased. So I don't think that this one is still available, but they have one that is like a light purpley color, and it has different oils and stuff inside. It's like the lavender version. So it has like lavender oils. I'm actually sensitive to lavender, even though I know it's supposed to be very soothing and calming, and people they love it, and I just don't. It makes me sneeze, and it starts to like make my throat hurt a little bit, and I have like a sensitivity to it. So that's why I ended up with this one, but I actually haven't seen this version of the travel kit. I've only seen the lavender one. So you get 4 things on the inside of the travel kit. Now, the one thing that I love the most is the luxury hand and body cream. It's very thick and it's a little bit oily. And in terms of a hand cream, I want it to kind of soak in a little bit faster than this does, but this is very, very nourishing. So if I put it on at night, it's fine because I'm not going to be doing too much with my hands. I'm just going to go straight to bed. But this isn't a hand cream that I like to use like during the day because I just feel like my hands are a little bit too oily, but it is very, very nourishing. In terms of the oils, so it comes with a body oil, a face oil, and a hair oil. I like the oils. I think they're very nice. I don't like the scent. They're very unfragranced. They're very natural smelling, and generally I can get used to scents like that, but I just can't get used to these scents. They almost smell like, they kind of smell like, I don't know, almost like dirt. I hate saying that. Yeah, they just kind of smell just a little bit too earthy. So like I've tried using the body oil. You can see I've used a little bit of it, but I don't like the smell of it. The face oil, I really don't want that smell on my face. And then the hair oil actually smells a little bit fresher. It smells a little bit more like natural, but like I can handle it. But the hair oil, I don't know if I just haven't used it properly, but it's a little bit like thick for hair oil for me because my hair gets really weighed down easily. So I used it once and I remember my hair just looking really kind of like greasy. I'm going to try it again. And so I just didn't really use it a lot since then. Maybe I just used too much. Yeah, that doesn't look too oily, but I also don't think it did much. I think when it comes to hair oils, I have like a real love-hate relationship with them. I really like the idea of them, but they very rarely work for my hair. So this is like a typical situation. I'll put like 2 drops of the hair oil, I'll put it in on the ends and I'll think, well, I don't feel like it did anything. And I'll go in with like 1 more drop and then all of a sudden it looks like I need to shower again. So that's not a statement about this particular hair oil. It's just hair oils in general kind of don't work for me. But I love this little travel case. It's so great. And it has come with me on a bunch of trips, shorter trips, because it's not that big, and there's no pockets or anything inside, so you just kind of throw your stuff in here. But I really love it. I just think it's a cool looking case. And then on June 8th, I did a Meteorites Perfume video along with like my perfume collection. So I just talked about like the perfumes that I had and the ones that I like. And I purchased this in hopes that it was really going to smell just like the Meteorites, the lilac in the Meteorites. And it definitely has a lot of that going on, but there's definitely a fruity kind of undertone that makes it a little bit like sweet and sour, which is fine. It's fine. It smells really nice actually, but it's just different from what I was hoping it was going to be. I was really hoping it was just going to smell like the Meteorites powder. This is definitely more of like a spring summer kind of scent for me. So I haven't used this in a long time, like in months, probably not since like August or September. So once the weather starts to warm up, I'm sure I'm going to be whipping this back out. So next on June 9th, I did a full face of Clé de Peau. And this was when I discovered a lot of the things that I love about Clé de Peau, like the foundation and the loose powder. I was so blown away by those products, and those have appeared in my favorites over and over again. But there are a few things that I used in that video that I really haven't talked about since, and mainly because I don't know, I feel very lukewarm about them. Like they're fine products, but I don't think there's anything like stand out about them. One is the Eyebrow Pencil. It's very nice. It works beautifully, but I don't think it's any better, or there isn't anything too different about it from like, say, my Hourglass Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil. It has a nice spoolie at the other end. The liquid eyeliner. So this is one of those double-ended eyeliners. This is a very nice liquid eyeliner. It's very similar to like the Tom Ford liquid eyeliner. It's lovely. It's lovely, but maybe because I don't use liquid eyeliners that often that I don't really think to reach for this one. Maybe I just need to kind of pull it out and use it a little bit more. And then the mascara. Very nice. Again, just nothing that special. I don't think it did anything that magical. It didn't really keep a curl. It didn't really make my lashes look like super voluminous or lengthen them at all. It's just a really kind of like nice mascara. If I remember correctly, it has like a curved tip. And I got the color brown because I wanted something a little bit softer. But yeah, I think it's a fine mascara. I don't remember it smudging or anything. I think it wore nicely. So that's the Clé de Peau mascara. And then this product I think actually has been discontinued or maybe kind of like reformulated into something else. But this is their Luminizing Enhancer Base. It's this guy. This product I didn't like. It is way, way too white. I thought it was going to sheer out as soon as you start kind of blending it in, but it doesn't. It just gets really like white, as you can see. And I don't really like that as a base on my skin. It just makes me look a little bit ashy and chalky. I wish there was just a little bit of warmth to that. So that I did not like from Clé de Peau. But everything else I really enjoyed. I love all of their lip products. And like I said, the foundation and the powder, absolutely love. Their eyeshadows I love. Their blushes, both the powder and the cream, I really love. So that's a quick kind of review of the Clé de Peau Full Face. And then on June 10th, I did a review of the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette. I love this palette. I do really love Melt Cosmetics eyeshadows. I think they're really great. This has been out of stock for a while. I think it came back into stock, sold out pretty quickly again, and it's still sold out. It's still out of there. So I haven't really been using this too much, especially on camera since you guys can't get it, but I really, really love this palette. This is one of the best color schemes I've seen in a really, really long time. It also helps that I like green and these kind of scummy colors down here. And in my video, I talk about how I found synthetic brushes to work a little bit better with these powders for me. Natural haired brushes, because these are such pigmented shadows, it just went on. It was like too much of like a pigment plop when I used natural brushes. So synthetic brushes, being that they don't pick up quite as much product and you can put the product down like in a lighter way, that worked better for me because, you know, I am no makeup artist and I just felt like the natural brushes were just too grippy for this palette, and I still feel the same way. And then on June 13th, I talked about the Chantecaille Positano collection. I really wish that collection was not limited edition, but I have gone on and on and on. I think about all of the pieces that I purchased from that collection. The La Serena bronzer and highlighting duo, I love this duo. It's like absolute perfection for me. And I've used this so much, but because of this formula, it's like a non kind of powdery formula. It just doesn't look like I've made a dent, but I use this product a lot. I still use this product a lot. And I'm pretty sure this is still available some places. Also, they came out with like liquid eyeliners. I think I have 4 of them in total, and I know 2 came out with a more recent collection, but I think Vert and Blue are the 2 colors that came out with this collection. And I really like these liquid eyeliners from Chantecaille. They're a lot of fun. They're a little bit glittery. The glitter there's no like fallout with them once like the liquid kind of sets down, really stays put. And it's just a little bit, like it'll catch the light just at like certain angles. It doesn't look like you have like just a glitter bomb all over your eyes. These are really pretty. And then the 2 eyeshadows were absolutely gorgeous. This is Soleil. So it's this like a beautiful pinky, bronzy, golden kind of color, just absolutely stunning. And then the other color was more of like a sea foamy green color, just as beautiful. And then there was a Mermaid eyeshadow matte in Olivia that came out with this collection. And this is just a nice kind of base if you wanted to use one of these more exciting shades right on top. I thought these were a nice complement. Or if you just wanted to do something really natural, I thought this was really, really beautiful. There was another color that I think I had on order, but Barney's like never shipped it, so they had to cancel that particular one. I think that one was called Sylvie, but this one is Olivia, and I think these are part of their regular line. And then the last thing I talked about in that video were these Chantecaille Lip Sleeks, and I believe these were new at the time. I got the color Lychee, and these are like totally right up my alley. They're like a sheer moisturizing kind of lip color, really, really easy to wear. I found these to be, even for me, like a little bit too oily, too creamy. Like they're incredibly soft on the lips, and as soon as like the heat of your skin, it turns it really, really like soft. So I like this product, but in the summer, between the sun and the heat of my skin, it almost, I don't know, it almost gets a little bit too soft. So I've actually been wearing this a little bit more now in the wintertime because it feels a little bit more nourishing now, as opposed to just kind of like an oily kind of mess on my lips. And then the next video I did is the Armani Neo Nude collection. And this will be the last video I talk about in this video because I've been talking for a really long time. So they came out with a Neo Nude Fusion powder. And this was a pressed powder that I wasn't quite sure if it was just supposed to be like a setting powder, finishing powder, powder foundation. And I think you could kind of use it however you wanted. So this powder definitely has a little bit of radiance to it. So I didn't really like to use it as a powder foundation, but if I was feeling like I need a little bit of radiance and wanted to use it in terms of a setting powder, I could use it on my cheeks. In terms of a finishing powder, I thought it was really great. I actually don't have any finishing powder on right now, so I'm going to use it as finishing powder. I've got my Sonia G Face One brush here, and just to show you guys, it has also a little bit more coverage than, say, just a regular setting or finishing powder. So if you need a little bit of extra coverage, maybe during your finishing step, if you're like me and only want to use like a shimmery powder during the finishing step, I think this is a really lovely option. But I think you could also use it as a powder foundation if you like something a little bit light, because there is a little bit of coverage, but it's not like a full coverage kind of powder foundation. It's just an interesting product. I think it's very versatile, and I think it's a product you'd have to play around with to kind of figure out how it best works for your skin, your preferences, you know, your lifestyle, that kind of thing. So that's the powder. That's what it looks like on my cheeks buffed in there. So you can see it has a little bit of a sheen. It has a little bit of a coverage, not too much. And I think it just looks really nice on the skin. They also came out with these really interesting contour and highlight products. I don't use this highlight very much, even though it's a little bit more shimmery than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a straight up kind of like brightening product, but there is a little bit of shimmer there. So it's very, very pretty, but just for some reason, I just don't really reach for it that often. It's very nice though. There's nothing wrong with it. The contour I actually use a little bit more, I think because I have less options for like a cream contour. And so I've used this more than I've used the highlight. And this is really nice for a subtle kind of contour. I think this one is like very beginner friendly. It's very, very light. You can build it up if you want, but I think this is a really nice kind of starting point if you maybe want to contour, but you're a little bit scared of those more pigmented products. And then there are some blushes, also some cream blushes in this collection. I have number 30 and number 50, and these are also really, really lovely. I just don't reach for them that often. Again, I think I have a lot of liquid and cream blush options, but I think I should whip these out. So that one is 30, and then this one is 50, which is like a cooler pink. So there is 50. Lovely products. They're all really, really beautiful. And then the last thing I got from this collection is one of their Ecstasy Balms. I think they also come in more tinted shades, but I got number 1, which is pretty much just clear. And I have not been using this very much, but it's a very nice texture. It's actually very, very lovely. And I was trying to remember if it had kind of a strange fragrance. And I can't really smell too much on it now. I smell a little bit something, so I wonder if it's been so long that now the fragrance has kind of like died down. But it has a really nice texture. I actually need to take this out and put this into like this little dish that I use to keep all my lip balms. But yeah, now that I just put it on, I feel like there was a taste and a scent. Again, much like their Ecstasy lip lacquers, almost like a chemical kind of taste and scent to it. But I think it must have faded because I don't taste or smell anything anymore. So that is good news. So that's it for this video. Again, I apologize for having taken so long to get this video up. We're gonna do a bunch more mini reviews at a faster clip so that I can catch up. But I do hope you enjoy these. I think it's important for you guys to hear my experiences beyond even just, you know, a review where I've tested the products maybe for like a week or two. I think a few months is a good amount of time. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe before you leave. I'll see you in my next video.